So I got a call about 2 months ago, and the call said, we want you to come to Baltimore to speak. Now, the day that I would have to go to Baltimore would be a day that I would have to fly in from New York or Boston and speak, and then fly out to LA because Shark Tank comes on at 8 p.m. on Fridays, and I have to be in LA to Twitter Live and do a live feed. I'm sought after to speak because my time is limited and I charge a lot of money to speak. And I charge this to corporations because if I speak to a corporation and I speak to their sales staff, I'm going to teach them how to increase sales. So immediately, when I saw what was being offered for me to speak, I said, absolutely not. But then, I was told that it was in Baltimore. Now, I love Baltimore for two very specific reasons. It is the only place that I've been galvanized by the Black Wax Museum and honored. And if you look back there in the corner, that's me.
That's exactly
So I have to take it into consideration. My second reason is that I love Baltimore is my wife, at the time, whenever she would get mad at me and I wasn't around, she would come down here and yell at that wax figure in the museum. Then Nifty. I have been a big fan of the program, the 1098 Eyewitness, and I love the program. And I love the kids, and they reminded me of myself, and that is the whole reason I wrote Display of Power. And as you saw those young individuals, soon to be sharks or already sharks, that is the actual description of Display of Power. So I jumped at the opportunity to come here to speak to you. So Baltimore, thank you for having me. Now, I want to first thank for being at this power lunch, the Baltimore Times, and I definitely want to thank Joy for having us, for having me, Laurent for calling us out here and making that call from Visionary Marketing Group, and of course everybody at Nifty, Trish and Darlene. Now, what I find valuable about the Black Museum, Wax Museum, and the Baltimore Times is the positive message they give and how they honor people such as the children. I think was interpreting it a different way. So I don't think there's any difference in it. It's just that people bounce around to what is hot. And that an urban community has always done that because we've always been a pillar of fashion. Funny, watch it tonight. I'm telling you, I did a deal tonight that I think will be bigger than FUBU. I'm hoping. Don't say congratulations yet.
All right, let's give another round of applause for Mr. Daymon John. Before we get up, some quick housekeeping notes. Let's follow Daymon on Twitter and Facebook or DaymonJohn.com. We have books on sale in the back. He'll be there for a short moment. I want to thank Alethea King, who introduced me to Champ Nichols, who now we're beginning a partnership, so I appreciate that. I want to recognize Bam Johnson, 7-time world champion Kung Fu. Please stand up, Bam.
With a nice, warm EFC welcome, Mr. Bam Johnson.
Mr. John asked me to come and speak. I said, me, not me. But then when we talk a lot. Every 2 weeks. He told me what he wanted me to talk about. It's kind of hard because my life is kind of like all over the place. When I try to put my life together in a book, it's kind of hard because I did so many things in my life. But I like to start where this one particular day on October the 29th, 1989, I had no purpose. I was a dead man walking. I didn't care about nobody, I didn't care about living. And I stood there in a maximum security prison cell with a white sheet going through my fingertips. and I was about ready to commit suicide. And a fleeting thought just came to me, and it was my mom. And all I could think about her was in the welfare line, collecting cheese, and making one little speech to me before she died in my arms from cancer. And that was "Bam, bam, be good." That still wasn't enough. I guess God made my little son come to my eyes, and I seen him growing up and becoming one of those thugs and gangsters that I thought I was in my neighborhood. And I dropped down and I begged God, please, if you would give me another chance and allow me to go back to my martial arts. I swear to you, I will never, ever abandon you again. You gave me everything since the age of 17. Mr. Kokinas taught me in the classroom on the blackboard. I was the littlest kid, and amongst all the board of directors, Mr. Kobar, Mr. LaValle, my instructor, Master Brown, demonstrating, but I took it all for granted. And when God answered my prayers, I decided to jump up in that prison cell and I began to do push-ups and kicks every day. I began to go to the library and read every book. I don't care what it was, anything that dealt with self-empowerment, I did. Because I didn't need the answers, it was already inside me. I just didn't use them. And that day when they released me out of jail, $20 a dream and a vision, and believing in the unseen, I was committed to go back and get my son and relive my dreams. That 6-year-old kid who promised that he would do martial arts so he can get his mother out the projects. When I got on that bus and I stopped there in DC and I called my instructor, every time I called my instructor, the greatest person in this whole wide world, Master Brown, after all I did to him, he said, come to live with me, baby. And I said, no, sir, I need to live by myself. I need to check in a shelter, and I need to live on the street so I can make this dream come true. And I checked in the shelter, I got a job, and I ran to Washington Monument every day, and I worked out every day. My instructor brought me back into school, and the school grew. And from that, every dream I had as a little kid, from being in movies and getting my son, anything that I dreamt about as a 6-year-old manifest into reality. My school prospered in the EFC, the top of the all-star list. But because of me, sometimes our worst enemy is ourself. I begin to have self-doubt. I begin to question myself. I begin to live based on my ego. And I believe we took a drop in the EFC. And even if you look in the all-star book now, you see it's like right there around 10. But it doesn't matter because I know what my purpose is. I know what my family, as John said, look at what your weakness is. My weakness is myself. And all I got to do is look and believe and crack down and begin to go in my school and know that my purpose is to make sure each and every last one of those little kids coming at school, they don't be the person I used to be. They don't have self-doubt. I make them parents feel happy, feel joyful, and remember that if I don't get what I learned from my instructor and from Mr. Kokinas right there, I mean, if I don't give it back and keep giving it back, my school will never grow. Today I know that I'm wealthy. I don't need money or nothing like that to make me happy. Because all that wealth is right there inside. What I need to do is show that every time I open up the doors. And thanks to my instructor, he has given me the strength and the power to be able to do that, and Mr. John Kokinas. So I know today what my purpose is. And as John reminds me all the time, what is your purpose? And my purpose is to give back. And I guess as I put this mic down, look inside yourself. Ask what your purpose is. What excuse do you really have? Anybody that says the economy or whatever, it ain't the economy. What excuse do you have? I was in the prison cell ready to give up, and I dig down inside myself, and everywhere from Miss Joyce Santa Maria, Mr. Deaton, everybody right there to stand up here. This is kind of like my testimony to say thank you, Master Ernie, Master Tony Thompson, everybody in this room, Master Doyen over there, and Mr. LaValle. I mean, without you guys, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. And it's my duty to continue on and make my school a success by making every little kid. I think I just say this for myself, to make sure no kid ever be like the person I used to be. And for that, that's the greatest thing that martial arts has taught me. So thank you.